once known as the Meadowlands, EA Sports welcomes you to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight on Sunday Night Primetime, it's the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. So glad to have you with us. Mike Tirico next to Greg Olson here in the booth. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. Here's Smith to return it.
The Commanders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
From 25, they'll go to work. First and 10.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Bronco switch, Bronco switch.
And he's hit behind the line of scrimmage and taken down right away. A loss of yards. What a message on the first play.
You spend all week on your opening script. What are the plays that allow you to find a rhythm and have some early success offensively? Well, in this case, that first play you drawn up sent you going back the wrong direction. How does that change this play caller's approach to the ground game going forward?
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13.
Let's go. Viking 18.
They'll stick with him. Oh, right at the outset, he lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in. But this is going to go down as a big loss on the play. The Commanders will signal for the first of their timeouts. Talk things over before third down.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. 79 Broncos. Trap 60, trap 60. Panther 11, Panther 11.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And that is incomplete. Keon Golden, the intended receiver. And that's going to lead to a fourth down. On fourth down, the Commanders going to send out their veteran Tress Way to punt. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over.
47-yard line.
Now the former Sun Devil, it's Cam Scatterblue. And he will slosh his way forward. On the wet surface for a gain of a yard.
At his 48-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
From a couple of yards shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, here comes Dart. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, it's Dart. And he'll just have to throw this one away. There was nowhere to go downfield. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down.
There's no need to do anything reckless. It's 3rd and long. The opportunity to convert this is probably slim. So There was nothing open downfield. I think he makes the smart decision here, Mike. Avoid the negative play and throw the ball away.
Oh, how about that hit? Wow. He took a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
32-yard line.
Shot alert! Shot alert! Down! 70 Timberwolves! Ready,
Drive will start on the ground. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Throwing on second down. Daniel. He's got a man downfield. That's Johnston. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. A big play there for Washington. It's a gain of 34.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover, and plays like this, it just shows how special he can be.
On first down, Daniel. He's going to air this one out to the end zone. It's intercepted. Picked off by their rookie corner.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The drive begins at the 20. Here's first and 10.
Let's go!
A run with the man out of Purdue. That's Tyrone Tracy. He'll work this ahead for 2, maybe 3. Quan Martin is there for the stop.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
From the 24 now, here's second and 6. And a shotgun. It's Dark. That's complete to the tight end, Theo Johnson. And he'll be brought down up around the 38-yard line. 14 yards on that pass play there. That's good for a Giants first down. On the handoff, here comes Tracy. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Some nose guards in the 3-4 defense, Mike, are just asked to take up space and eat up blockers. But not this guy. He defeats his blocker and makes the tackle. That's playing the nose guard at the next level.
And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up third down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
Here's a third and 10. Here's Dart. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is fourth down. On comes the punter now, and John's to punt for the second time in this opening quarter. They go 3 tight ends here on first and 10.
Ready! Broncos, 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger.
They'll begin here on the ground. And tough running there. He's up to the 32. Devin Bush there on the stop.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 32-yard line.
Here's second and 6.
Buffalo 18. Here we go, here we go. Panther 60, Panther 60.
Looking out of the gun, it's Daniel. He's got his tight end down the field. That's Komet. 17 yards on that play. Good for a Commander's first down.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
Up the middle they go. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 3.
Deputy! Cougar 19! Deputy Lion!
To throw is Daniel. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Tyler Newton. And he's going to give his offense a short field to work with as they look for their first points of the game.
Intercepted. The Giants take over 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
They'll go to the ground, and here's Tracy on first down. He'll try to keep his footing, manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 7. Throwing, Dart. Hit as he threw it. The pass is incomplete.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, just ends up being a wasted down.
21 is the line to gain as we hit 3rd down. Now Dart. Now a short one caught by the tight end Johnson. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively. And now decision time. What are you going to do on 4th down?
When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on 4th down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a 4th and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this 4th down.
That's taken in, and he will have that first down. Taking a chance here early in the game. They convert on 4th down.
And the Giants first down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On the give, it's Tracy. And a good run there. So to get him 5 yards. 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw. It's Dart. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
And they got the look they were hoping for, one-on-one on the outside. He's just unable to hold on to it through contact, and I think that was a big opportunity missed.
3rd and short. Here's Dart. He tosses over the middle. This one is caught. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem, and that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks. Anytime you find yourself kicking in these elements, Mike, you just can't take anything for granted, especially when it comes to your plant foot, your balance, your control, your footing. It's so important, and give credit. He does a great job here able to put that one through.
Here's Smith to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10.
Ready? Timberwolves. Panther 60. Panther 60. Bronco switch. Bronco switch.
Handoff here, up the middle. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. So, we are through one here on Sunday Night Primetime. It's the Giants leading this one early. More from MetLife Stadium after this. So, from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 7.
60 Bison. 60 Bison. Ready.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. Nothing doing there. He'll go down behind the line.
So much of what makes a toss play so good is it allows you to get the ball on the perimeter of the defense really quickly, and it doesn't stress all of your backside blocking. But on the downside, it does get your running back running east and west. They're running sideways for the first couple steps, and with a defense that can run to the ball, we're able to get you down for a loss.
Come on. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal.
On third down, they'll throw with Daniels. This one just too far for the receiver. Out in front of him. That one falls incomplete. The big tight end, Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. And now it's fourth down. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. They'll run with Tracy. Putting very difficult in these conditions. He gets forward here for a gain of about 3.
A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down. On the ground, it's right back to Tracy. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
So there's multiple factors, Mike, that make blitzes successful. So, of course, there's the initial design. Can you attack the vulnerabilities of the offense's blocking scheme? And then in this case, the next phase is the timing. You can see this linebacker knew exactly when that ball was going to be snapped. The offensive line had no chance to identify and pick him up, and he's able to bring him down for a loss.
Out of the gun, third down. It's dark. He'll air it out down the middle. That one is batted away. Incomplete. No separation that time. Tightly defended. It brings up fourth down.
And the best offense on third downs, Mike, is to be really good on first and second down. This keeps teams from putting themselves in these unfavorable positions. It's part of the reason why these drives continue to stall out.
This will be returnable from his own 15. Oh, hello. He is stopped in his tracks on that one. He made sure that return was not going any farther.
Ready. Panther 60. Panther 60.
To the ground, a first down run. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Not a great start by this running back here in the first half, Mike. He had a fumble earlier. Now he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to get more out of this run game as the rest of this game moves along.
Daniels to throw on second down. And he let him a bit too much. That pass is incomplete.
They just desperately need to get something positive going here, Mike. It just feels like they're a play away from really jump-starting everything they've talked about being good at throughout the course of the week's prep, and it's really been the inability to sustain drive. So critical third downs, better on first and second. Somewhere it's got to pop, and somebody's got to make a play.
They'll get 19 out of that play. First down, Washington.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
Here's first and 10.
Lions. Left.
A handoff as they try to run it here. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. Operating from the gun, it's Daniel. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
And the defender does such a good job, Mike, not only putting himself in position to make the play, but how often do we see guys that are there and they just can't quite make it? In this case, he's there, knocks the ball down, really nice play.
Here we go, shot. 70 Timberwolves.
From the shotgun on third down, Daniel. And that is incomplete.
That has to be a disappointing end to this drive. Just think, when they took the field on this possession, Mike, they're thinking they got a shot to go down there and take the lead, but they couldn't even get to midfield, let alone the end zone. If they end up getting another shot before halftime, they've got to find a way to have better execution than they did right here.
That's a very nice return. He is giving the offense a short field. On play action, it is Dark. That one to the sideline is over everybody, but now a penalty flag will come in. They may get him for grounding. On second down, Dark. Out to his right. Oh, he overshoots him. Could have been a touchdown. Instead, just goes down as an incompletion.
They've been a little up and down in this first half. I mean, they have less than 80 yards of total offense and halftime looms. So missed throws like that, those are missed opportunities. They've got to hit the plays when they have them. They want to have a chance to leave here with a win.
Not fun here. Third and a lot. Throwing is Dark. Now a shot here, deep middle. And on third down, that ball's incomplete.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
That's fielded at about the 18. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football.
On the check. Here we go. 18 card. Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Mustang 19.
Play action. Here's Daniels. And for the third time in this first half, he's been intercepted. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick six for touchdown.
That's about as bad as it can possibly get. Mike, we're only one play into the drive. You're trying to establish a little early rhythm, get something going, and now you're jogging off the field watching your opponent celebrate in the end zone. So they're going to have to come back out here on offense pretty quickly, regroup, take a deep breath, and try to bounce back.
So the lead is now 10-0 as this kicks away. Here's Smith to return it. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field.
Cougar 19.
On 1st and 10, here's Daniel. A toss, left side, caught by his running back. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. 2nd down and 6 now from the 26.
Press all 80.
Throwing is Daniel. A pass caught right side by Coleman. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. Don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. They'll throw with Daniel. Over the middle to the tight end center. That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10.
Come on. Panther 60.
They'll give on the ground, and that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
2 minutes to go here till halftime. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this. Here's a 2nd and 9.
Here we go. 60 by 6.
From the shotgun, it's Daniel. That's to the left side, taken in by Coleman. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
Cowboy 80. Ready.
Now a give up the middle. Space to run. Inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Washington. That his first touchdown of the new year. Extra point attempt still to come. His kick is good. And the Commanders are on the board. It's 10-7. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This fielded at about the 9. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And he'll be out of bounds on the return, and the drive will begin there. Here's Dart on 1st and 10. He'll look deep here for maybe
Connect. Johnny lying.
Daniels now on first down. Oh, he's going to be followed up and taken down. They got him. And the Giants here will use the first of their timeouts. Clock stopped with a little under a minute to go in their second quarter.
79 Broncos. Kevin Pirates.
Throwing on second down. Daniels going up top. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodies his man up. Wouldn't allow a catch. It'll force third down.
You know, it's hard to speculate, Mike. We sit up here and we try to just interpret and assume what's going on in the minds of the players and the minds of the coaches, but they seem to me to be a little bit rattled. All these negative plays have really started to pile up in the first half. He's got to settle down, have some more efficiency on these early downs, and get his offense into some sort of rhythm.
Third and long, and here's Daniels. And that is incomplete contact, but no flags. It's going to be fourth down. The Commanders about to send this one away, as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. And he'll go forward a few yards on the return. That's where the offense will take over. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Dart. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up second down.
All right, so the ball falls incomplete, but I think what it does now, Mike, is it allows you to stop the clock, get in the huddle, take a deep breath, and now your play caller has to give you the best play. Go get points here before the half and try to build something going into halftime.
To the air on second down. Dart. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. They might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down. Now a timeout, Giants. That is their second. Clock says 25 seconds till halftime. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Oh, maybe a free play as he'll look to throw it. That'll be incomplete with a penalty flag down. It looked like someone was across early. So a lot of options on the table now. It's 1st and 5. To the air again goes Dart. Oh, a huge mistake late in the half. It is intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Unbalanced look here to the right side on 1st and 10. Ready? Here's Daniels. He's got his tight end down the field. That's connected. And they're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line. Now here's a timeout. They're going to take it with 8 seconds remaining until the break. So, first and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Here we go.
Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
So, Mike, you find yourself in some of these inclement weather games, whether it's rain or snow. Really, the challenge falls on the defensive side. They're usually more in a reactionary position where they got to change directions and they got to react to the plays and the movement of the offense. So what you want to do in these bad games is keep the ball underneath, tackle well in space, and say, okay, offense, snap that slippery ball one more time, throw it one more time. Just make them go the long way. Don't get them off the hook by giving them a one-play score.
3 points, all that separates these two sides as half number 2 kicks off. This will be returned from the 6. Now an opening has the 30. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line.
35-yard line.
Project X, this ain't what you want.
On the play fake, here's Dart. Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
He's got a man. That's Josh Downs. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. Just his first catch. They have held him in check so far. But that one gives him a first down. They'll come up here, first and 10. Up the middle with Scannable. And he'll try to keep his footing. Manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards. Second down, they need 7. Out of shotgun, it's Dart. Left side, that's Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. They get 18 on the pitch and catch. First down, Giants.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Out of the gun, here comes Dart. Back 3, third time tonight he's been intercepted. Picked off by Leo Chanel.
So we saw in the first half, they were willing to take some risks. It allowed them to build this halftime lead. Now the opposing sideline, they're looking to fight back. They're looking to cut that lead down. That's what that coverage seemed. It looked like they baited that quarterback to force that errant throw and lead to that turnover. Now it's their offense coming back on the field with a chance to cut this deficit.
Alert! Reload! Reload! Ready, ready?
They'll run. He'll try the left side now. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
That's complete to Coleman. And mark him down up beyond the 30. A pickup there of 19 yards. Good for a Commander's first down.
Now, this is the epitome of a really short throw and a really nice run after catch. And listen, for a quarterback, it all counts the same. You don't always have to throw the ball downfield to generate explosive plays, and these drag routes can be very, very effective.
He's taken down just shy of midfield. That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A first down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get them the ball, pick up the first down.
He'll try to keep his footing, manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
Daniels to throw on second down. We'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Third and short, and it's Daniels. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looks like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on third down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these third down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball. And in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up fourth down.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it first and 10. A carry here for Tracy. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down.
Remember this one thing. It is not how well or how often you run the ball in the NFL. It's when do you run the ball well in the NFL. And I think that's what a lot of these offensive play callers are starting to realize. Can you run the ball well in critical moments of the game? More important than how many gross yards you run for. The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on third down.
Third and 2, and it's Dart. He finds his tight end, Bellinger. First time they've worked his way all game long. He comes through with the grab and a first down.
So here's a play, Mike, that is clearly designed to attack the middle third of the field. So think it's roughly the space between the numbers. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And once he understood where his leverage was, and he gets his head around, great job by the quarterback on time, delivering a strike.
Brings up second and 7.
From the 43, here's second down and 7. Dart to the left side and taken in by down. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. They get 12 yards on that pass. That's good for a Giants first down.
44-yard line.
Here's Scannaboo. Hunting very difficult in these conditions. He gets forward here for a gain of about 3.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment. Keeps this to a modest gain at best.
From the 41, here's second down. Now Dart. That's caught over the middle by Johnson. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
And that was just a simple read that time. He knew his guy was going to come open in the middle of the field based on the look they gave. All he had to do was let the play develop and then deliver a strike to pick up the first down.
And he will slosh his way forward on the wet surface for a gain of a yard.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9. The throw is Dark. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier. I like the idea of taking your shot there on 3rd down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up 4th down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6? And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Here's Smith to return it. He'll get across the 20, mark him down 23 yards.
Okay, break.
On play action, Daniels. That's going to be incomplete. Hubbard, very stout there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Let's go.
They'll go play action here with Daniels. Throwing right. That's Johnston. And he's going to be taken down to 37.
It's a gain of 14.
They get 14 on that hookup. 1st down, Washington.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Let's go. 70 Lions. Ready, ready.
They'll turn and hand this one off. And a nice run. Get them about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
No dice there. He is met and tackled behind the line of scrimmage. This is 3rd and 6. So we are through 3. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this.
Ready, set.
Big play coming up. This is 3rd down.
Here we go. 19, Tiger, 19.
Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. That's the 4th time tonight he's been intercepted. The defense is having a day. They extend the lead with Greg their 2nd pick 6 of the game.
And that's just something you don't see very often in the NFL, Mike. I mean, you might see a handful of games each year where there's 1 pick 6, but to get 2 pick 6s in the same game, this defense is on fire.
The pressure got to him. He was hit as he threw it. It's incomplete, and they come up empty, trying for 2. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. He fields it at the 8. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line.
Okay, ready? Cougar 19.
On first down, Daniels. Now the ball thrown deep for Johnston. Oh, he puts another ball up for grabs, and this one's also intercepted. Picked off by Tyler Nubin.
You know, Mike, the one thing that we used to say is it didn't matter how good you were or how long you played. Eventually, you're just going to have one of those days, and I think for this quarterback, he's got to be able to move on from this pretty quickly because this is about as bad a day in the office as you can imagine.
60 Bisons, scoring 70. Let go.
On play action, it is Dart. He's going to look for the home run ball. Oh, that may be the break they needed. That one's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Hall. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
At the 48-yard line.
Come on. Set. Cowboy 80. Ready.
Now Daniels throwing on first and 10. That's thrown right side, but incomplete. Quentin Johnston, the man he was looking for on that one. And it'll bring up second down.
18 Ramlet. Ready. Go.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. That's complete. Komet with the catch. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
That's good.
A pickup there of 25 yards. Good for a Commanders first down.
23-yard line.
Let's go. 60 Eagles. 79 Broncos. 7 Pirates. Ready.
They'll throw with Daniels. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Javon Holland. And the Giants are going to get the football here as it'll come out to the 20.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And he'll try to keep his footing, manages to work it ahead for a couple of yards.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up second and
From
7.
the 23, here's second and 7. We'll stick with him again. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
3-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up third and 7.
Got to get it to the 30. Here comes third down.
18 Cardinal. Let's stay 19.
Operating from the gun, it's Dart. Oh, that may be the break they needed. That one's intercepted. Picked off by Max Melton. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the goal line. Nearly a pick six. But he does set up the offense with first and goal.
Ready up. Let's go now.
Now Daniels. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Defender right there with him. It brings up second down.
He's got to find a way to hold on to that one. I mean, you're right on the doorstep of the end zone. And listen, I understand that hit is coming. But guess what? That hit's coming whether you catch it or not.
Ready, set.
You get paid to make the difficult catches. And I would classify that one as tough, but you got to make that catch. Give your team a chance to come away with this drive with some points.
Looking for a seam, but will not find one. He'll take this down to the 4-yard line.
So I think as you look back over the course of this game, it's really been the inability of this offense, Mike, to create any sort of balanced attack to get anything going. And whether you look at the rushing yards, whether you look at just the points scored, this offense has to find a way going forward to generate more big plays and more balance, both run and pass. These are the worst. I had a couple years, Mike, where I swear I got tackled inside the 1-yard line 10 times. And then you look back and you're like, man, how many touchdowns did I leave on the board because I couldn't get one more yard? Now, for him individually, not ideal, but right now they're on the doorstep of the end zone, and they got to find a way to put that ball across the goal line.
Field goal would only do so much. They need a touchdown to close the gap. It is 4th down and goal.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal, Panther 11, Panther 11. Steady.
They'll indeed go. It's Daniel. And this is incomplete. They don't go for the field goal. Wind up trying to throw for the touchdown. They get nothing out of it on 4th and goal.
So the offense finds themselves in a tough situation. They're down by 2 scores late in this game. They know this is a prime opportunity. They need to play for a touchdown. And instead, the defense makes a huge stand, and they got a chance now to close this game out.
Right away, they'll set up to throw. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
I really like this defensive play call. Knowing the offense is backed up on their own territory, take the fight to them. You know their first order of business is they're just trying to get some breathing room. Don't give it to them. Go attack. It's exactly what they were able to do.
And the pressure, too great. He's sacked in the end zone. That's a safety. So first the decision to throw down here backed up near your own goal line, and the defense gets to the quarterback, sacking him, Greg, in the end zone for a safety.
Mike, anytime you're willing to call a pass backed up this deep in your side of the field, you have to trust that your quarterback is going to have the clock in his head to get the ball out of his hand. In this case, he holds on to it too long. The defense is able to get to him in the end zone, and it results in the safety.
Cowboy 80. 79 Broncos. 60 Mavericks. 60 Mavericks. Cup 19. Cup 19.
On 1st and 10, here's Daniel. And he goes up top, looking for Komet. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
He's just unable to secure the catch through the contact, and really nice job timing that hit up by the defense. And at this point, all you can do is get up, get back in the huddle, and hope your quarterback gives you another shot.
On 2nd down, it's Daniel. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
Come on. Hey.
Daniels now going to look to throw. This one down the field, but wind up incomplete. And Sinnott was the intended receiver. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's what you call a wasted series. They come out here and they decide we're just going to air it out. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down. All 3 incompletions, and now brings up 4th down, and barring some crazy decision here.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. They got him with a big-time rush that leads to a turnover on down.
So the key to this 4th down stop defensively was their ability to flush the quarterback out of the pocket. Anytime you can do that, you shrink the field, you limit the quarterback's options, and in this case, he can't find anyone, and ultimately, he goes down for a huge 4th down stop.
That's a nice job keeping his balance in these conditions. A gain of about 5. From the 21, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around. and it falls incomplete.
So I actually really like the concept of the pass play, and I think if we see a little bit better pass protection, even just a second longer, that's probably a completed pass, but I think the pressure just sped his clock up just enough, Mike, that he wasn't able to get that ball exactly where it needed to be.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. Rolling right. And this ball incomplete on third down.
Just didn't quite get enough into that ball. You see sometimes the pressure, the rush, force a quarterback to throw the ball off his back foot. And I think there was a little bit of that here at play. You have to be willing to step up, even in the face of pressure, and get enough behind that ball. Put that one a little bit more on the money. So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. Drive will start on the ground, and that play going nowhere. The defense all over that one. They'll bring them down for a big loss.
Mustang 19. Dragon 60. Ready.
Throwing on second down. Daniel. That's to the left side. Taken in by Coleman. And it'll be taken down after a gain of 9. Third down. Coming up. Come to the line, needing 6 yards for a first down.
Ready. 60.
On third down, they'll throw with Daniel. He's got the first down and more than that. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. Good work after the catch. They gain 19 yards and a first down.
Get it. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger. 19 tight. 19 tight.
They'll drop to throw. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up second down.
Ready. Panther 60. Panther 60.
Even in the air, here's Daniels. The pressure, too much, and he goes down. The Commanders will signal for the first of their timeouts. Talk things over before third down. Working out of the gun, it's Daniels. This defense pinning their ears back, coming to get him again. Defense has to play smart, avoid a penalty on 4th and long. They'll go. Here's Daniels. Now a ball thrown deep for Johnston. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. Here's a run going left. Not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that. Now a timeout here by Washington. That is their second. As it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. It is 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Now a deep ball toward the end zone. And the Commanders will take over at their own 14-yard line. Here's first down.
Let's go. 18 Cardinal. 18. Come 19. Come 19.
Here's Daniel. To the left. Oh, he doesn't put it away. And the ball's out. And it will
Something these running back coaches preach all the time, Mike, is you can't sacrifice the ball for additional yardage, and I think we had a case of that going here. I love the effort. I love the fight, but it can't come at the expense of the ball. Everything in football is about protecting the ball itself, and in this case, just a little bit too loose with it. They're able to pop it loose, and that's a big turnover.
So it's a win for the men in blue. The Giants get it done. They get the job done here at home, and they follow the opening weekend victory with another.